We fight to get all of our people free.
I grew up on a small family tobacco farm in rural eastern Kentucky. Too many times, people are telling folks in my community, people who are trying to just make it every day, to put food on their tables, a roof over their head, telling them to blame each other, to blame black and brown people for their suffering instead of those at the top, billionaires, crooked politicians, and big businesses who do nothing but exploit the people, the land, and our labor. We know that it is a strategy by those in power, those at the top, to get white folks, and especially poor and working class white folks like my family, me, my community, to side with other white people who do not have their interests at heart instead of black and brown working class folks. And they do that very strategically and focused because they know that there's so many of us, white, black, and brown, poor, working class people in this country, that us all coming together would outnumber them.
White anti-racist Southerner Ann Braden used to tell us, we're not here because we're helping black people or people of color. We're here because our lives depend on getting in this fight. And I think we can all see those people who went before us as some of the roots, as some of the anchors that hold us and carry us in this work. Almost 55 years ago, there was a call from the Black Liberation Movement for white people to go and organize our own. There is no way that we can make the change that is needed in this country unless we move more white people to understand that a black, brown, and indigenous vision for change in this country is exactly what we need in our lives. And it's on us to bring in tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, actually millions of white people all over this country if we're going to shift things.
White supremacist movements didn't just happen. They're part of a long strategy. White people, our people, are being actively recruited. Our opponents are organizing white people all the time. They're stoking white fear and racism so they can stay in power and prevent all of us from getting the things we need: healthcare, better schools, safe housing. And I know it doesn't have to be this way. That's what I'm figuring out as part of showing up for racial justice, understanding a shared interest and a shared purpose. And when we find our stake, we find our voice and we find our power.
Showing up for racial justice is actually the largest explicit organizing project to mobilize white people for racial justice in the history of this country. Since 2009, we've been bringing our people into multiracial fights for justice across the country. Fights that have stopped jails from being built, like Reform LA, won transformative police accountability through the Citizens for a Safer Cleveland, fought back against white supremacists organizing in Charlottesville, or in my own Louisville, Kentucky, where we're exposing the inequities of cash bail and the deaths of people in our jails. The Surge Network is hundreds of thousands strong, over 175 chapters all over the country and Canada. Everyone here matters. We need so many more people in this work.
The stakes in this moment couldn't be higher. We have to fight for our people with everything that we've got. Because white supremacy, left unchecked in our communities, is causing violence against communities of color. And it's also causing our people to become recruited into becoming foot soldiers for people in power who don't give a shit about any of us. And I know you're with us, so say it with me. This is our future. And I will do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. You belong here and you are needed. And what's so powerful about movement is, yes, we get to change the world, but we also become transformed. We get to reconnect with our humanity. We get to reclaim ourselves from white supremacy. Join us.